I want to thank you first for clicking on this video, whether it be sports betting, listening to our late gambling nights stories, or educational stories. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Money Pot Betting channel. If you could, hit the subscribe button, support us as we support you. Enjoy the show. Welcome everybody back for another late night session of Gambling Nights, where we talk about all everything that's happened in pop culture, sports, gambling stories, whatever we can find that's kind of hot to talk about. I'm your host, I'm your CEO, I'm Moss Money. I got my guy with me, my bro, my brother. Be humble. What's up, bro?
What's up, brother, man? I got my dad hat on.
Yeah, got the fitted on.
Wolfing out here.
Yeah, you see me, doggy. You see me, doggy.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah,
get my
man.
this week.
Gotta get my just for men right, bro. Gotta get ready.
I
Gotta get ready.
let that crank come in, man.
Nah. We not doing that. I ain't gonna hold
just
you,
for
bro.
men.
I'm a dyer.
Mm.
I am no shame in the game. People be like, "Oh no, I don't die." Mother, I'll tell you straight up, I dye my shit.
Are you
You know
fully
what I mean?
gray, or are you just like?
Jet black?
But are you naturally fully gray, or you kind of like salt and pepper?
No, salt and pepper.
Okay.
Salt and pepper coming
I
in.
might have to. I mean, you see this gray here. I might have to.
Yeah, well, you've been salt and pepper for a while, though, homie.
My head look crazy. When I take
Yeah.
this hat off, you're gonna be like, God damn.
Yeah, you've been salt and pepper for a while, man. But I want to thank everybody for joining in. We're going to talk about a lot of things going on in sports. And I think it's all sports today, right? Nothing really outside of sports. We try to stick to sports. And then we'll also have a quick Eagles versus Washington Commanders little preview coming up for first place in the NFC East for Thursday night football. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But first, I think the biggest story going on right now. Actually, you know what? Let me set the stage a little bit better than that. Let me just show you. Okay, like that. I'll give him the full screen. Let's go back. Give him the full screen. You hear that music pumping? I'm the best ever. You hear the hype. So, Iron Mike Tyson is going to fight Jake Paul Friday on Netflix. Don't know the specifics because it's actually the first time ever that a premium, I guess, fight is going to be on a streaming service like this. I'm assuming if you have Netflix, is free. I don't know if there's a premium if you have to buy it or anything like that. I don't think so, at least as far as I know. But we've seen this is the first, I guess, if you call it a test, right? Mike Tyson, 60 years old, in terms of Jake Paul stepping in the ring with somebody of somewhat of merit, I guess, per se. So, bro, I know you kind of talked about this when this was kind of happened, maybe like a year ago. I think we saw Evander Holyfield got, pretty banged up, in his fight. What do you think about this fight, man? What do you think about Mike and Jake Paul? And like, it's always like could I take a punch from Mike Tyson? I mean, whether he's 60 or not, it's still Mike Tyson. What are you thinking about this fight, if anything? Obviously, all eyes are going to be glued to the TV when it starts, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think.
I would say this, man. I've never thought ever in my life, like just hypothetically speaking, that damn, I wish I can fight Mike Tyson. Right? Nothing that never crossed my mind to say like it was always like, yo, would you take a punch from Mike Tyson for $1 billion? Remember those things back when you was young?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hell no, I ain't taking no, you know what I mean? Like it was like just that type of fear
Yeah,
factor.
I want to eat food still.
Correct. And it's
Right.
like me seeing a 58-year-old man in the ring again, I really could have left this where it was at. You know what I mean? I just love the legacy of Mike Tyson. I love his story, you know what I'm saying? From start to finish, his just him is going through what he went through as a child, moving to the ranks of boxing, being the greatest heavyweight of all time, to his his legal issues, to his arrest and prison stint, to kind of coming back out and kind of being a different person, like a change as he grown and matured, lost all his money, was able to kind of get back to where he's on his feet and started doing comedy, started doing a whole bunch of different things and stayed relevant.
Yeah.
I like this transition, whether it was movies or just podcasts now or
Yeah, the
being a
hot
special
box.
guest, something like that. I think I loved his transition. I don't know if this was what was needed. Like, I don't know if I need you to get in the ring with Jake Paul now. You gonna make some money for sure, man. Hey, salute to you and getting your bag. But I don't know. Does this help his legacy or hurts his legacy? I'm not really sure. If he loses,
I'm not sure if he's
I mean, can you imagine he gets knocked out? Because if Mike gets knocked out by Jake Paul,
don't to me it don't really mean nothing for Jake to knock out a 50-year-old. Thank you, Ronald Edwards, for correcting me. A 50-year-old Mike Tyson. Like I like it.
58.
He's 58.
Yes, I think that motherfucker's damn near 60.
Yeah, I said 60. Yeah, but I guess we'll be politically correct. He's 58.
He's 58.
Yeah, I don't know if it's do anything for like it don't help nobody. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess it helps Jake to put I mean, it is Mike Tyson,
you put that on
regardless
your
of
belt.
how old
Right,
he
right,
is.
right.
Like it's still Mike Tyson. And I mean, listen, like look at Mike.
Nice left hook. Up.
Mm.
Was good for today.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Sure.
Yeah, me
Yes.
too.
You fucking
Like-
sure? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure. You fuck with me, it's all right?
Let's do this.
You did great.
We're done.
there's still that Mike in there.
But my
Sure,
question is
yes.
this, Nate: Is he going to transition that into the ring? I think what's the game plan here? Is this going to be real?
You can't turn it off. Like
But is this real or is this
here's,
like?
here's another clip. Here's another clip to give some background on Mike's, Mike's psyche.
Mike, I love you, but this is my sport now. It's an honor to get in the ring with you. I'm so honored you're a legend, but I'm gonna take your throne, brother.
There's a fundamental difference between me and Jake. He's a manufactured killer. Television and paper made him a killer. He's manufactured. I'm a natural born killer.
Right. So when a 50-year-old man says that's a fake paper killer, I'm a manufactured killer. I mean, I'm a real killer. Like I'm a natural born killer.
Mm.
So when I get in the ring, it's no more podcasts and comedy shows. What did he say that one time when he had that one interview? The beats of hell is calling me. You know what I mean? And it's going to be ugly when that guy comes out.
So what I'll say, look, it looked like he working out. It looked like he it looks like he's in shape. You don't look like
He's
he
in
kind of
shape.
just
He's in
walking in
incredible
there.
shape. Yeah.
You know what I mean? With like no bullshit like these other people that have come in the ring with Jake. So listen, if I'm Jake and I would be a little bit nervous, but I think Jake has shown himself to the little bit of competition that he's gotten better as a boxer.
He can box. I won't take
I mean,
anything
the only
from him.
boxer he fought, he lost. Right? Like, let's be real.
In the decision.
He still
So,
lost.
a professional boxer from a professional boxing family, and he took him to the distance. And I think Fury won in a split. Like that
Still
wasn't like a
lost.
full decision.
I'm just
He
saying the only
lost.
boxer he fought, he lost.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
just assuming I would like to see him. Like I guess he just what would you call what kind of boxer is Jake Paul? Is he just a pageantry boxer?
It's
Like
tough to tell
what is
because
he?
you don't like you said he hasn't gone against somebody with skill, and Ronald Edwards is one. L. Let me ask you guys this: do you think he's going to let a YouTube beat him, a YouTuber beat him? I'll answer that in a second, but go back to you, Homo. Like I mean, he's got a good jab and he's got some good power.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that's what he is. That's from what you can see because he's knocking grown men out, whether they can fight or not. You know what I mean? He's lighting lighting the Christmas tree up and they going out.
Let me ask you a
So
question.
yeah.
Jake Paul getting that ring and Mike is looking like Mike look.
Oh, it's not.
Are
Yeah.
you scared? Are you
Uh,
somewhere in your stomach like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have did this?
I think there's going to be a moment where he gets in the ring and it's like when Mike does that moving, the
Mhm.
swaying back and
And that
forth.
right hook to the
You know what I
body.
mean? Yeah, like no facial expression, just straight. It's a different look in his eye compared to
It's
other
scary,
people.
bro.
You know what I mean? Like Mike ain't in there for a check because I don't think Mike needs a check. You know what I mean? Like he ain't in there for a check.
Mike can always use a check. I ain't go. That
Yeah, but
motherfucker went
I think
bankrupt
Mike's in there
to fight.
to fight. You know what I mean? He's looking at this as a boxing because I think it's sanctioned. Like this is a real this is going on
Supposedly,
record.
yes. Was it on record? Yeah.
It's going on records. So I think Jake's smart enough to know that this ain't no game. Like it's like it like he understands that it's Mike Tyson. Now it's 58-year-old, 60-year-old, whatever you want to call it, Mike Tyson, but it's still Mike Tyson. So I expect him to stay out, try to outbox him. Don't get in a slugfest. I don't know how many rounds it is, but try to make it to the end. And I mean to Ronald Edwards, like hell no, Tyson don't want to lose. You know what I mean? You don't want that on your blemish or anything like that, especially somebody who hasn't been in a ring as seasoned as you are. Like, of course not. That's not what he wants. So I think it'll be I mean, everybody's gonna be watching it. It's gonna be probably the most highest stream thing of the year, more than likely. So
I think
we'll see.
one blow from Mike to the body. I think is going to probably he gonna get Jake, and Jake gonna be like, oh shoot.
Well, Jake looked heavy. I don't know if you've seen him. Jake's like 230, 240, and it don't like it looks weird on him. Like he's
Not in
got
shape.
some patent. He's got some patent to be able to try to withstand a couple hits.
He's gonna need some more than some
And I
pad.
don't like who knows if they're wearing like heavier gloves.
I think it is a little ounce up. I can look it up though.
Yeah, like is it heavier gloves? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that he's making sure that he's going to get protected as best he can. But is it only just like 6 rounds? You know what I mean? The goal is to get
So they're wearing 14 ounce
wants to
gloves.
fight Canelo is what he wants to do.
Damn, they 4 ounces above, so they're wearing 14 ounces versus the 10 ounces.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. So at 50 years old, is somebody, is Mike knocking somebody out with those gloves? I'm not sure about that.
So it'll be 10 rounds.
Are they going 10?
3-minute, 10 rounds. Oh no, I'm sorry. This contest will be 2-minute rounds.
Okay.
Instead of traditional 3-minute, it'll be 10 rounds, 2-minute, 10 rounds.
I mean, he's 58 too, man. Mike can't go that long either.
58. God bless him. Hey,
Dying
man, God bless him.
ring.
14 ounce gloves.
That's
All right.
crazy.
Well, listen, 2 days.
Yeah.
We'll
That's
see.
crazy. Yeah. All right. We got another kind of battle, but a little bit different. Head coach, star player who hasn't gotten paid, making head waves because there's big trouble in Big D with Big Dollars.
Pause.
Michael Parson calls out McCarthy, or does he? Listen to the interview and you be the judge of what exactly Michael Parsons is talking about his head coach.
Mike, Mike's on the final year of his contract, so outside there's of course going to be questions. What's the sentiment inside the locker room, and what do you tell people who are wondering about whether McCarthy will be your coach next year?
That's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year. But all coaching aside, coaching, Mike can leave and go wherever he wants, but guys, I kind of feel bad for guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy and hurt for.
You guys were 2-2.
Whew.
Before we get started, can we talk about them little ass lockers they got there in Dallas? I thought everything was big in Dallas. God damn, them lockers, his shoulders is the whole width of the locker. Like, come on. All that money y'all got in that stadium, this is a little ass locker you got? Come on, my guys. Hey, come be a bird, Micah. We treat you good up here.
Man. People need to leave that shit alone. He not gonna be an Eagle, man. I keep telling everybody that he's not gonna be an Eagle. He actually wanted to be like they're Dallas fans. His family is Dallas fans. His dad is a Dallas fan. His grandfather is a Dallas fan. Like they're actually Dallas fans. So he's living out his childhood dream and playing for the Cowboys.
Sorry,
they might not gonna pay him, right? He gonna go with that money talk for sure. I'll tell you that. But what do you think about what he said, man? I thought there was a couple bits and pieces in there. Kind of subliminal shots, maybe, kind of not trying to take the high road. You know what I mean?
I thought it was ultimately disrespectful. I thought from the word go, he's disrespecting the head coach. Now, I don't know what their relationship is. It sounds like they're not on good terms. But I know the opening question was about Mike McCarthy. First thing he says, well, Mike McCarthy can go. I don't care about really where he going. He can go here or there, whatever. Like, that's just not how you kind of handle that situation. You throw him under the bus, and then at the end of it, you say something that was really kind of asinine. Because Mike McCarthy is a world champion. He is a Super Bowl champion. That led the Green Bay Packers to a Super Bowl. So, I mean, I kind of get what you're trying to say to talk and big up your teammate, but you don't have to bring down your head coach to do that. There's plenty of opportunities for you to just say, hey, listen, I don't know what's coming for Mike McCarthy. I think he's been, you can just kind of, buddy it up a little bit so it don't look like it's bad. And then you can kind of address, Zach Martin and what your focus on is what you really wanted to do. And he kind of threw Mike under the bus. I thought it was very disrespectful. And hey, that's the Dallas Cowboys for you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought the one thing that stuck out to me in the whole thing was he said, Zach Martin would do more work than Mike McCarthy ever will. Like you don't know how much preparation Mike does. You know what I mean? You're not in those rooms with him. You're not up there in those late nights getting the game plan for the game together, you know what I mean? Like it does take a special person to lead a football team.
And he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he won a Super Bowl.
Does Zach Martin have a Super Bowl?
And he won a Super Bowl.
Does Zach Martin have a Super Bowl? So what are we talking about?
Does he have
what accomplishments
did he have a playoff win? Have they won a playoff game?
I think one
what we talking about in Dallas?
Yeah, like
25, 30 years?
I don't know. Listen, I think Zach Martin's a great player, but what are we really talking about as far as accomplishments? No. So I think it was a slip up for him. I think his tone already set that tone for it to be where it is. So,
he was like, yo, that's above my pay grade. He just looked up in the sky, not even no eye contact. He's like, man, y'all gonna ask me this dumbass question.
And he said he tried to backwalk it on his podcast the next day. I didn't see what he said, but he tried to walk it back. What did I say? Backwalk it? Damn, what the fuck was I talking about? He tried to walk it back.
Yeah, I don't even watch that shit. So he's a little weird when he talks and kind of like he's a little different. You know what I mean?
I think he's trying though. I think he has a potential depending on how.
I
don't watch him either.
Sound like a cat from Harrisburg, just a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
a little bit different. So,
what high school you go to? Harrisburg High.
Yeah, he went to Harrisburg. Yeah, I can't hate on him though. His pop, allowed me to get an interview with him and talk to him. So, I mean, that was really dope. You know what I mean? To be able to see those old stomping grounds, and he's definitely is a legend out there in Harrisburg. Him and Shady for sure.
For sure.
But enough about Dallas.
What was that score? What was that score last week? Just so we can make sure the viewers understood what that score was. I can't remember.
Ooh, what was that? What was it? 36? What? It was 36 something.
38-6, 38. It was a lot to nothing.
Yeah, it was terrible. They had like 75 yards passing.
Yeah, it was something crazy.
It was ugly.
Yeah,
It was real
how about
ugly.
that? How about that? How
Yeah.
about them? How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, how about them Cowboys? They fucking suck.
Go Birds!
Speaking of that, great segue. Big game.
Mm.
Thursday, night football. Eagles versus Commanders for first place in the NFC East. The Washington Commanders are 7-3. The Philadelphia Eagles are 7-2. Right now, Philly is ahead in the polls or in the standings. It's a better way to say that in the NFC East. But obviously, if Washington gets the win here and the Eagles take a loss, Washington will be now in first place. Washington's coming off a tough loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers, as we already alluded to. The Eagles had a dominant win over Dallas in Dallas. Just to make sure you guys know where we whooped that ass at. What do you think about this game, man? Like I have my thoughts already about how this game is going to go, but I mean the question says it all, man. Who you got? Thursday night football. What's up?
Man, this is going to be a great game. This is box office type of football here. Historically, Washington and Eagles always been tight games. You just kind of never really know what can happen. Even if for the past few years, Eagles have been a really good football team, and Washington's been on the down end. But it seems like they always find a way to keep things close for somewhat, no matter who's on the roster. So now it's interesting because it's a short week, right? Short week for both teams.
Yep.
Washington is coming up 95, right, to the link,
Yes, sir.
and that place is going to be jumping. It's going to be loud. Daniels already talked about how excited he is to kind of go into the link. He talked about, he hears so many stories about going to Philly, so I'm sure he's going to get here to ruckus. This is not the first time he's played against some of these other players like Jalen Carter. I think that little meme is going around when Jalen Carter picked him up in the game. Kind of like didn't slam him down, but kind of let him ride. So it's just a little bit of
pause.
That is pause. That was a little great. So I mean, listen, you got two teams. Washington got the player they needed for their team. This is why they're 7-3, and that's the quarterback. I think it will be a difficult game. Hopefully, I feel like the Philadelphia defense have stepped up tremendously over the last 4 or 5 weeks. They look like they're clicking. Zach Bond, I got player of the week, defensive player of the week in the NFL.
He's playing at a Pro Bowl. He might get all pro. Well, he's playing.
Definitely balling. So I think they'll carry that into the week. I think defense travels as far as on a short week. So it's what our offense is going to do. Can we limit the turnovers? And can we keep Jaden Daniels in a box? And because we know he's going to run. So, but hey, guess what we got on the other side? That boy Cooper DeJean.
Okay.
DiGiorno. Okay. So we got Cooper DiGiorno.
Cheese pizza, white cheese pizza.
Yes, we got a bunch. We got the white cornerback who can make it happen, who can play with anybody. I think we can live with him and Bond, the way Bond's playing, obviously. The way the defense has been, I think we're going to have a good opportunity here. The line is 3.5.
Yeah, the line is 3.5. Total is I think 48.5. I do really like the Birds here, not me being an Eagles fan and we from Philly, but I think there's two key things here that three key things that we got to talk about. One, Washington's coming off a tough physical battle against the Pittsburgh Steelers that went down to the wire, and they came out of that game pretty hurt. Their whole offensive line are on the injury report this week. Not sure if Brian Robinson's going to play. They're 1-3, I think, or 1-2 this year with him not playing. So I think that's going to be tough for them. And then on the other side, the Eagles are kind of like getting healthy, right? You get Mailata back, so you get your starting left tackle back. Goddard played last week, so he's back. Sidney Brown is obviously starting to come into the fold, and I already talked about the stars on the defense and the young stars on the back end with Cooper DiGiorno and Quinyon Mitchell. So, and not even that, we're coming off a little bit more extra rest. None of our starters played in the fourth quarter. Like these cats was out by about 4 minutes left in the third, while Washington was still in a dogfight. So that takes your toll a little bit. Coming on the road, coming to the links, always tough to win in Philadelphia, real home field advantage. And I said this before about the Commanders, and I'll say it again. They haven't really played anybody. Or they haven't really beaten anybody is a better way to say it. If you look at their schedule, they got one quality win on their schedule. And that quality win was against an early Arizona team. And we didn't know Arizona was going to be Arizona until we see what they are now.
Salute to Arizona.
Right? But they lost to the Bucks. The Bengals, even though they have some players on there, the Bengals ain't shit. And we can see that. Right? So is that really a good quality win? And then they beat the Cardinals, who has a winning record. But these are their wins. The Giants, the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Panthers, the Bears, the Giants, and that's it. They lost to the Ravens, they lost to the Steelers, and they lost to the Bucks, who were all solid teams. So I always thought Washington was a fraud, a 7-3 fraud, and I do still agree with that. So give me the Birds, man.
Damn, a fraud though?
I do.
I don't know if
man.
they're a fraud. I think they got a good player there. I would say I do like the Birds.
I'm not saying that but they're they just haven't played. These teams are trash. Like this run is crazy. You beat the Giants twice. Like I said, the Bengals are what 4-6, and so the Bengals are really not a good team. You beat up on Arizona, so I give you kudos to that because I was in Arizona too, right? But then you beat the Browns, the Panthers, the Bears, and then the Giants.
I mean, playing devil's advocate, we haven't played and beat anybody either. Devil's advocate. Look at our schedule.
Yeah, and I agree. Our
5-game win streak is.
I would agree. I would agree. Our 5-game win streak is against bombs too. The Cowboys, the Jags, the Bengals, the Giants, and the Browns. And our losses is to Atlanta, and the Bucks. Good win at New Orleans against the Saints, where we always have a tough time winning, and then good win against Green Bay. Probably should have won the Falcons game, but it's still a loss on the record, regardless. But for me, this is not the trap game. The trap game for the Eagles is at LA and the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the trap game, right? But this game, I think that I think they get a win, and I do they get convincingly, and then everybody's going to load up on them to with the Rams, and I think that's where they have a problem.
So I'll say this just to close out, I'll move on. We have primetime games versus Washington. Eagles are 9-5. But the key note is, and I'm hoping Jalen Hurts and some of these guys that are still here remember during our Super Bowl run, I believe in 2022, right? Was that 2022?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Our first loss was against the Washington Redskins. And I clearly remember that day. We could not stop the run. And they exposed us. So hopefully they'll be ready for this night, for this primetime game. I think it's going to be a great game. A lot of electricity is going to be on the field. I think there's going to be some points on the scoreboard. So I'm interested in seeing this game. Where we watching it is, I guess that's the only question I got.
No, I'll be at the crib. Yeah, man, I'll be at the crib. Down there. Everybody's schedule sucks, and Washington can't stop the run. And I just think, honestly, it's a bad matchup for Washington. To be honest, you take McLaurin away. I mean, what are you going to do? Beat us with Zach Ertz down the field? With little dump offs and stuff. I think you're going to. And then people saying when you haven't seen Daniels. I mean, they practice against Hurts. Like, I'm not saying Hurts can't, is as fast as Daniels, but it's not like Hurts can't move. So, I think we'll be okay.
And believe it or not, Daniels have slowed down rushing the ball since his rib injury. So,
yeah,
I don't think he's going to be doing too much in the run game. But
give me the Birds. What's the point?
Yeah, he had 3 carries last week, 8 carries for 35, 8 carries for 52, 3 carries for 50.
I think he'll run a little bit more here because our back end and our secondary is so solid that he's not. I don't think he's going to see anybody really open.
Imagine this though, Nate. How about week 1, 2, and 3? We were ready to throw this fucking defense out the window. Now we're talking about like how the defense is probably the most elite defense in the NFL. It's kind of crazy, but I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean,
Fangio turned them around.
Yeah.
These guys are playing, gave them some time, and now they're looking real good. We still need a pass rush though.
No, yeah, I mean we don't have it. Fangio figured out the formula. with this defense. He figured out the key people. Jordan Davis doesn't play as much. They figured out that Huff is a you pay for a specialist, right, to rush the passer.
And most importantly,
and then you put Mitchell. I think Mitchell was the biggest key.
He was always a star, but who did he make an adjustment? Who was it?
Who? DiGiorno?
Cooper was the transition.
Yeah, they put Cooper was finally ready to play. They pulled Maddox and put him out there. And then even though interior, right? What's the boy named Booker? And I forget Ojano, or I forget the other tackle. Like that tackle combination of those guys getting some reps and showing out. I mean, I think he just started pulling starters that weren't playing, you know what I mean, and not performing. So I think it's gonna be hard for Washington to move the ball on us, and I think you're gonna see our defense kind of show up, because I think Washington it's not 7-3 is a good record, really good record, and not taking anything from Washington, but they haven't seen a defense like ours, just as yet. So I think they're gonna have some trouble. I think they're gonna have
we halfway through the season,
trouble. It's gonna be trouble.
Halfway through the season, that fast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. And so back in your day, of your playing days, bro.
So make me sound old. Back in my day.
Back in, I mean, shit was like 20 years ago.
Back
dog,
in 1997.
You ever get in a fight on the field? What's your teammate? You ever fight a teammate in a game, like during the game?
No, I have fights on the field, never in the game. Definitely not against my teammate. We had fights off the field in the locker rooms and then maybe in the dorm rooms, but never in the game.
Never in the game?
No, that's crazy. Why?
Well, I just want you let me know. What do you think about this? Let's go back a little bit. We missed it. Hitch.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Who's that? Zesty? Is that Zesty Samuels?
Yeah. That's a lot of emotion, and these guys are fighting hard. You know, you're coming out of the bye week.
Fuck you.
Deebo,
fuck you.
He doesn't want to hear that.
Fuck you, dude.
I guess taking some trash talk or shots.
Don't talk to my kicker like that.
So what do you think about that, man? Like you go over. So I think they were struggling this game. I think the kicker Moody had missed 3 kicks. So it wasn't coming away with points. And Deebo goes in there and picks on the long snapper. Like he goes and just kind of like suckers the long snapper. Like, I don't know, man. Like that's I don't know. Like I don't think I've ever in a game like been yelled at some players, but never like go over there and smack somebody in the fucking helmet. Like what is this?
He tried to choke him. Okay, throw him his hand into his
right. Like what we doing?
Yeah. Listen, that's uncalled for. We all knew Moody's coming off an injury, so we know, he's a kicker. They should be there to do their job. Missing 3 kicks is no excuse. But he's coming off an injury. I mean, at that point, it's like, why are you doing that, Deebo? Like you're perfect.
I think he would, Dar. He don't fuck with Bronny.
Nah.
He don't fuck with Bronny at all.
Where Bronny at right now?
G League.
Where he should be. Thank you. He should be in college. So they ain't got nothing personal with Bronny. I love Bronny like the nephew. I just want what's best for him.
Yeah, the nephew you don't fuck with.
But Deebo Samuels, man, shame on you, brother, man. You a better. I think you're a better person than that, and hopefully you get called out from the coaches about that action. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it later on, but
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about it either.
You don't put your hands on your own teammates, especially out there in public. Like if y'all want to do that shit in the fucking locker room. Come on. Don't talk about emotion. Don't talk about, I was just, being competitive. No, there's no place for that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, there's always something wrong with this San Fran team, right? There's always something kind of going on with this San Fran team, and I think Deebo is a decent player, but I wish the kicker would have let the ball get in Deebo's face and see what happened. You know what I mean?
I wonder really what happened. Maybe Deebo.
You never know, because some of
these
these boys don't look like they can fight. They be knowing this jujitsu shit. They'll fuck you up.
Put
You
your
know
ass
what I
in
mean?
put your ass in the fucking
Real
headlock
quick.
quick. You're like, God damn, I'm in the arm bar? Like, what the
fuck? Like you think this motherfucker just can kick. Yeah,
kick your ass.
Kick your ass, right. So I wish they kind of would have let him just a little bit go at it, but you know what I mean? Yeah, like you said, uncalled for. I thought it was kind of crazy.
Then you want to walk away like a little pussy. Like, if you're gonna stand on it, stand on it.
Yeah, right. I hate that. She's like, yeah, don't bitch up. Don't bitch up. You're gonna walk past and throw a jab and keep walking.
Just zesty ass walk. Get the fuck out of here. You see, what we should be talking about is his outfit when he walked in. That little leather jacket with the little
with the shorts or whatever.
Come on, my guy.
Where's he from?
Like Auntie Deebo.
Where's he from? You know where Deebo's from?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know we not from
what, South Carolina, right? Didn't he go to South Carolina or something like that?
I have no idea where the fuck he's from. But I guess they be doing that shit down south.
Like, nobody gonna catch you before you walk out the door and be like, bro, I don't know if that's it.
Yo,
like,
I say the same shit to people too. Like, who told you that shit was cute? Like, who told you said that was good look?
It's crazy.
Because he's not your friend. He's not. He is not your friend.
I wish you had that video of him walking in. You should look for it. That was a crazy. I'm like, yo, this bull got this crazy walk, hand all flared out with the little purse. Like, come on, my guy.
You know these bulls funny nowadays, man.
Yeah, I guess. That's not, we in a little.
Yeah, you know, these boys built a little bit funny. Let me see.
And you got a nerve to put your hands on the kicker. Like, come on. Like, it's like it ain't matching up.
You know. Sometimes them boys got to be tough like that, you know.
Yeah, well.
I think I remember what you're talking about. He was in it was some like weird looking shit he was wearing. It's like he was all.
He had a whole leather jacket with these little ass.
I just remember he had just shorts on. It was almost like, you know what it looked like? It looked like jogger, like sprinter shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy. Man, I'm not looking for this. Shit, got me Googling, looking for the video. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to put? Deebo Samuels zesty look?
I'm sure. Well, listen, if you start putting Deebo and put a Z, it's gonna come out. It's gonna automatically come out because I'm sure people are already started putting in the Google search zesty Deebo.
Zesty Deebo.
And they're probably already gonna populate.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I ain't looking for that stuff no more. All right. Staying with the football. Staying with the football talk. I think you brought me this story, man. I'll read off a quick little excerpt.
Real quick, that was Don that was on here, right? Don, are you out there?
Yeah, Don's out there, bro.
Don. Them Lions, ball. 5 interceptions and they still won. Like, that's a team, my dog. Y'all listen. That's a team, dog. Listen, salute to Don and the Lions, man. I just want to represent for our guys that watch.
You sound like a traitor talking about.
No. I'm just giving props what they do. He threw 5 picks, Nate. 5, and they
should have
won.
lost. Yeah, they should have lost that shit.
This is crazy. This is a crazy story.
All right, so let me just zoom in just a little bit here so we can get some context. Sorry for the ads and everything going on, but stick with me. I'll read it off for you. So, pretty crazy. I didn't know about this. You kind of about this. Kelce and Mahomes' house were targeted by burglars. It seems like, I guess, a synchronized robbery because both houses got robbed on Monday. I think it was. Oh no.
Last month.
It was
Monday
night. So 4 officers were dispatched to Missouri midnight, October 6th, indicating residents have been broken into, according to reports from the Case County Sheriff's Office. The police report did not mention Mahomes by names, but that address matches Mahomes' public record. Mahomes stated that obviously it's frustrating and disappointing, but I can't get into many details because the investigation is still going on. What did it say? Police did not indicate if anything was stolen. Looks like police in Leawood, Kansas, the next day. That matches where Kelce lives. Seems like the burglar arrived at 7:30, causes $1,000 in damages to a back door, and fled with 20 grand in cash. The timing means Kelce's home was broken into while the Chiefs were hosting New Orleans Saints on Monday night game. Of course, a game where Taylor Swift was attending. Why the fuck they got to put that shit? That's got to be some like algorithm. Like, what the hell does Taylor Swift have anything to do with this man getting robbed? Like, what are we doing?
Gotta put her in there, man.
You know what I mean? But Mahomes and Kelce got robbed in a maybe synchronized type deal. I don't know. When you heard about this story, you thought it was kind of just crazy. Is it crazy because people are able to rob these guys and their security system isn't like up to date, or how they're doing it? Or is it crazy that both the star players on the same team for the Kansas City Chiefs got robbed?
It's just interesting, man. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting story to see that anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done for the city, it's like, nah, we're gonna get these dudes tonight. And
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, there's been terrible situations in that case in the past. Obviously, one of the greats, defensive back for Washington Redskins and a Miami legend, for some reason, his name is passing me by.
Oh, you talking about, was it 26? Was it 26?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Oh my God, I'm sorry for this. Oh, but we know what I'm talking about. They thought he was at a away game. Unfortunately, he was in a house. He gets shot, and it cost him his life. He got shot in the leg and a major artery, and he bled out. So it's just one of them things where I think it's senseless. It's Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor came to my head. Sorry about that. RIP to Sean Taylor for something similar. He was on injury reserve. He wasn't away for the game. People came and tried to rob him, thinking they weren't going to be home, and he was home. And so in this case, you just never know, man. Even the people that you feel like are untouchable can still be touched. I'm sure their privacy feels like, I don't know. What do you do now when there's so much access that people can have to your personal information to find out where you're living, can Google and search and see and kind of clock you? I guess you just got to be, I don't know. I guess you got to be more and more.
What goddamn money? How is your security system ass like that? Like, how did these cats even break into your crib, bro? That's like you got to have a gated crib. You got to have dogs. You know what I'm saying? You got to have an alarm system. Like, that's just like standard in my head.
Maybe no dog. Maybe they don't have dogs. They need to get some dogs, I guess.
You got it. Like, why would you not have a dog? Like, why would you not have two killer dogs? Like, I just
two Dobermans sitting there waiting.
Oh yeah, like Doberman, Rotties, Shepherds, Pits, whatever King Corsos, whatever you want to call it. Like, there's multiple like dogs, and then like motion sensor cameras. Like, I'm just so confused on.
Well, I'm sure they got that stuff. I'm sure the people are on camera. I'm sure they got all type of surveillance. The question is, as long as ain't no dog that can bite my ass right there, or ain't no sniper sitting at the top of the roof, the alarm can go off. I'm still gonna go in and do what I got to do and get out of there by the time the cops come. So,
maybe
as you can see, that they've got into Kelce's house, which they got out a little bit more, $20,000 in cash.
Yeah,
that's a little crazy. What the fuck was this cat laying on the fucking sofa? Like, what? Where's this cat?
It's pretty crazy. You know what I mean? But I mean, you at your crib. You know what I mean? Like, you expect to feel safe. With things at your house.
Yeah, for
sure.
You know
what I mean?
For sure.
I mean, shit. What if Taylor Swift was at his house waiting?
Can you imagine?
Could you imagine that? Like, oh my God.
Well, one, we know she had 1,000 pieces of security around her, so that'd have been a bad time.
Maybe not.
You think she there by herself?
Maybe she was there for the quickie. You know what I mean? Maybe she was there for the quickie. You know what I mean?
Hell no.
You never know.
Taylor Swift can't move without security.
Taylor might be a freak.
No, sir. No, I'm pretty sure she's not. She probably like an open book. You know what I mean? Ain't too much going on.
Not too much going on with Taylor?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You never know, man. Got that undercover freak in her. Maybe Travis bringing that thing out.
Shades of gray. All of a sudden, she's gonna be that innocent looking girl.
She the innocent all nice.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
The dungeon room in the basement. Nobody
Yeah,
knows.
but then when we get to the sheets, is
Curtains.
tie-ups and whips and stuff. You know what I mean?
I can see that a little bit.
Little diamond matrix.
Yeah, I can see that.
Thing
I can
going
see
on with
that.
her.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's actually as I'm picturing it now.
Yeah, right. Pale skin, leather, it all makes sense. Skinny, tall.
It's that 50 Shades.
Right.
But yeah, man. Unfortunate situation. Hopefully they'll handle it and they get those and catch those guys, and press charges and get some jail time, and send a message out there.
Yeah, got to, and beef up your goddamn security. What the hell are y'all doing? Y'all got enough money to do that shit. I mean, especially Travis. Like you think Travis was on a low? Your whole net worth went up since you've been with Taylor. Podcast popping. You on commercials? Like, come on, bro. Get it together. But let's get this story together here, man. Getting real exciting in the world of college football. Right? Getting real exciting. So let's bring up the list. I found a nice little post here, and let's go through it, man. There it is. If the playoffs stop today, this is the ranking by the selection committee. Only 2 yesterday, actually. The 12. Look at Colorado sneaking up there at 17. You
believe?
I believe. But as of right now, Georgia would make the cut. Believe it or not, Georgia fall. I think you wanted to even talk, but it's Georgia falling to 12, which is, pretty insane right now. BYU all the way up to 6. Indiana is at 5. Whew. Looking at this list here, man. Do you think anyway Georgia falls out and doesn't make the college football?
I mean, they setting it up to be that way. I mean, because they're going to play each other, right? So Georgia has to play Tennessee. But we got to look at this situation here. Georgia has one of the toughest schedules, I think, top 5 toughest schedules in the NCAA. And how do they drop because they have 2 losses? And those 2 teams are in the top 10. Like, how is Penn State still right here? Penn State has played and beat nobody. They beat USC, was a 5-1 team. They beat, I don't know, somebody else has a 5-1 team, and they get their ass beat by Ohio State. And you somehow in the top 4. So you're looking at a bye here. But you dropped Georgia down and lost to Alabama, who's number 10, and lost to Ole Miss, who's 11. But then again, they beat Texas, right? They beat Texas at Texas, and Texas is sitting at 3. Like, make it make sense to me.
Yeah,
that's surprising to me. I mean, I would definitely been moving Penn State down. Georgia probably maybe got to like 8, 9. I mean, fucking Miami lost last week to who did Miami just lose to?
Yeah, I was off on that game. They were 1 game off.
They just lost to a terrible team. Miami just lost to, and they've been playing like shit. Georgia Tech, and they've been playing like shit every week. They just been escaping with wins. So it's I don't know. I mean, I guess they're trying to shake things up. I really don't see a pathway for Colorado to get there unless Colorado wins the Big 12.
Yeah, they got to win the Big 12.
But even with that, that's BYU, right? So there's only 1 Big 12 team that's in there. Yep. And if they beat BYU, then I guess they'll get into that position.
For sure. Yeah, it's a Power 5 conference. They got to make it if they win.
Yeah. I think all 4 of those teams stay. I think Georgia stays up there. Ole Miss most likely. I think Tennessee will find his way falling out. Yeah.
What's Tennessee? What's the rest of Tennessee's schedule?
So Tennessee has to play. I know Tennessee has to play Georgia. All right. So Tennessee
they play Georgia this
week, and they got UTEP and Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. So
they might beat Georgia. I mean, is it in Georgia?
It's at Georgia. They're not beating Georgia.
Man, you seen the way Beck has been playing, bro?
Yeah, Beck isn't playing good football.
He ain't playing good. And without Beck, you know what I mean? They're not. You know what I mean? They struggled against Florida a little bit, right? Florida was winning that game. And then they kind of turned it around in the second half. And then we saw what they did against Ole Miss. Now not saying Ole Miss is a slouch, but it didn't feel like Georgia was in that game at all.
Yeah, I thought that was a big game there for Ole Miss.
I mean, it was at Ole Miss, so
Yeah, it was a big game for them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, but mind you,
But we
Georgia.
talking about Georgia though, bro.
Yeah, but look at Georgia's schedule. They opened up with Clemson. Like that was the first game of the season. They blew out Clemson. Clemson's still ranked in top 25. They had to go to Kentucky, which we know Kentucky's a tough place to play. They
Yeah.
lose to Alabama on national television that they had to come back for and took the lead for a
Yeah, they
second.
got smoked by Bama for a little
Obviously,
bit there.
yeah, obviously you got Auburn. Then you have to go to Texas. You get a Texas win. Then you have Florida. Then you have Ole Miss. Like, look at their conference. Look at the teams I'm saying that they're playing. These are all top 25 for the most part teams. So, but anyway, listen.
How did they play UMass as the second game against at the end? Like that's supposed to be the first game.
Well, that's their. Hopefully, that was going to be their break before they start getting into playoff play.
Yeah, like they got Tennessee, UMass, and then Georgia Tech. Like I'm just saying, we'll get into the if you guys like college football betting and NFL, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we will be breaking down this game next week. Oh, you know what? Nico's got a concussion. That's why that line is like that. Because I'm just like, why is the line 10?
Who are you talking about?
Nico from Tennessee. He's got a.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He's questionable for Saturday as a concussion.
Got you. Yeah, SEC teams they usually have like a lower level game later on in the season. I think even isn't somebody playing Mercer this week?
Yeah, I don't know.
Alabama. I think Alabama played Mercer this week. So you usually kind of have those dud games later in the season. Kind of those get right games after a rigorous SEC schedule. So, but it's interesting, man.
So real quick, I know we've been talking about this one for a little bit, and we can kind of talk about it more tomorrow. Give me a surprise who makes the playoffs, and give me somebody who's going to drop. So one makes it out of the top 25 that maybe people don't see coming, and then one who gets kind of knocked out. It was like, oh shit.
All right. Let me take a look here. I'm thinking we got to watch out for SMU. They got Boston College, Virginia, California. They can win out 8-1 season. I think they can sneak in there. Very electric offense. They're going to give any team some issues offensively. I think Penn State drops a little bit. Surprises. Let me go down. I mean, I guess we're rooting for Colorado, right? Is that going to be the upset? I mean, that's the only really big upset that I can see that can sneak in here and make moves. That would be great television, right? Get Colorado into the playoffs. That'll be good TV
for sure. I think that's a good one. But like you kind of talked about already, they only have one path to the playoffs, and that's the one the Big 12. You know what I mean? BYU probably won't lose again. Right now, I think Colorado's favored by 10 points against Utah. Which is kind of surprising, I guess, a little bit. Not too much, I guess, maybe, because Utah is really not that good, but I think it's just a tad surprising, double digits. But playing in Utah is tough.
This is going to be interesting. All right, so let's look at it here. Ohio State. They got Northwestern, then they got Indiana. So that's going to be interesting here. Indiana at number 5-2. What if Indiana beats Ohio State at Ohio State? Like that's interesting, right? And then they got to play Michigan. Like, so in this point, are you worried about the Ohio State Michigan game, or are you worried about Indiana that's coming to town? Like, Ohio State, usually Indiana's that walkover to get prepared for Michigan, but now they gotta be prepared to play Indiana.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting situation here. Obviously, Tennessee plays Georgia this week. So that'll be a little shakeup. Penn State finishes out with Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland. So most likely they'll sweep the end of that, and they won't move too far. But they might drop back just because of status of wins. Miami right now,
Yeah, that was the one I was looking at. I think.
I mean, who they lose to? Syracuse, maybe? They got to go to Syracuse?
Yeah, I was thinking Clemson.
They don't play Clemson. Oh.
No, like Clemson could – would be my –
Damn, you think Clemson can jump up there?
If they win the ACC. Right? If they win the ACC and they beat Miami in the ACC.
Okay, so if they beat Miami. So if Miami comes out with 2 losses, Miami drops out. Clemson works back.
Because what happens? Is there a pathway for any of these teams to still make the playoffs if they lose their conference championships?
I don't know. I'll be prepared next week to talk about it to see how it plays out, how much the weight of the championship game plays. Because, like I said, teams like Notre Dame, they don't have a championship game. So, you know what I mean? Like, how does that impact? Is that good? I mean, it happened to them before. Like, because Notre Dame doesn't have an extra game, they did get rewarded versus a team that has to play the extra game and they lose, and then you're going to drop them out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's how do you do that?
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
But what I will say is this: looking at these teams that's in the top 12 or teams that are potentially going to be in the top 12, it's going to be some great football playoffs because I would love to see any of these teams match up against each other. As I'm looking at it.
And don't forget about Boise sitting there with that running back, Gente. He's a problem.
He definitely is.
He averaging damn near 200 yards a goddamn game. This is sickening.
Yeah, no, he's a beast. I just don't know if they can get over that hump.
But but those are the teams. It'd be fun to kind of see him play, right?
Yeah, you want to be on. I mean, he got San Jose State, Wyoming, Oregon State. There's no really meaningful wins. They will have to kind of wait and see who can kind of slip back. I mean, I guess you would love to see him play, but I like what I'm seeing up front. I like the teams that are up there right now.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we're gonna take us home, man.
Yeah, man.
Take us home. We talking about college. Let's switch over. College basketball. Now, I haven't watched much college basketball, but I know who this man is. That boy Coop shining with Duke right now. Just a couple games started. I think he had one game where he really shined, but I think he struggled a little bit last game. Now, remember, the kid is only, 17?
Oh, no, he didn't struggle last night.
I thought you said he struggled at the end of the game.
Yeah, to close the game out, but he had 26 points, something's 12, 13 rebounds. He was balling, but it was coming down to a close game. It was a tie ball game, and he had 2 opportunities to kind of take the lead. I think he dribbled the ball, and he got stripped in the corner. Then he ended up running the ball out of bounds. So it was like moments, the opportunity that you can see the youth of kind of not like what you would see a young person do, like getting yourself trapped in the corner, right? Like trying to do a little bit too much, over dribbling. So he had 3 turnovers to close out the game. And that's just the weight of being the guy, but also being 17 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but within the game, he was balling. I'm a big fan of Cooper Flagg. Listen, I'm a Sixers fan. I would love for us to let Joel Embiid go ahead and rest on and get that knee right, man. And, let Paul George get that little knee right also, and let's go on and tank for Flagg. Let's go
for Flagg.
Let's go and tank for Flagg. Let's get that stretch 4 that we've been needing. We don't have a 4. We need that 4th. Now when we get that 4, we got Cooper, we get Maxey, we get Embiid, we got Paulie, we got McCain off the bench at the 6th man. You know what I mean? Shout out to McCain. That's been balling, probably going to get Rookie of the Year the way this team is going and players not playing. So he'll get plenty of opportunity to score the ball. But he had 34 points tonight, 10 assists.
Yeah, I wonder what those odds are.
For McCain for Rookie of the Year?
Yeah,
he's most likely leading that. I think he's the only rookie that has 5 18 points or more so far this season. The rest of the rookies are like at 1. So he's dominating as far as score for basketball. But yes.
Here comes Flagg.
This one to show that up there so the folks know who we're talking about.
You're talking about a three level scorer, can box you down, can back you down, good footwork. He need to work on his shot a little bit. His three shot game's a little bit iffy. I think he's shooting under 30% from the three. But once again, 17-year-old. He had a game last night on one of the biggest stages playing Kentucky. Led the team with 26 points. He was their go-to player. I mean, he's going to be a good guy. He has a potential probably through the ceiling. He played in the USA team as far as like practicing with him and was cooking out there.
Cooking, yeah, he was cooking.
Right. So listen, this dude is going to be his potential's through the roof. He's only 17 years old. I would love to see him in a Sixers uniform. I doubt we'll be able to get that opportunity, but I think right now he's my short fire guy.
Yeah, first game he had 18, 7 and 5. Second game he had 13, 11 and 3 in this past game. A loss to Kentucky, 26, 12 and 2. Certainly not scared of the big stage, and showed up when the lights were brightest. Duke, Kentucky is a well-known story rivalry. The Blue Devils versus the Wildcats. Yeah, I mean, I tend to get into basketball later in the season. I don't jump and watch it, right in the beginning. So I'm one of those type casual fans, as they say. But yeah, I mean, we talked about him when he, Cooper was the real deal about when they did the Team USA one, and we showed some highlights there. And it's not surprise, man. I think I read some stories about how they hustled Cooper, right? They were always pushing Cooper when he was in high school and AUU ball and all that stuff to be on the better teams. And whatever had better basketball, that's where Cooper Flagg was going. So, there's no surprise that he got here. And obviously, body filled out, grew to 6'9", and ultra athlete. Like you said, can play on all three phases. I mean, you saw the dunk right there, explosive going to the left and just skying over everybody to finish at the cup. So, yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see. You know what I mean? I like to see other people, ball. You know what I mean? I like to see, we got Cooper DeJean, right, in white cornerback. You know what I mean? Now we got a white kind of slasher dunker. You know what I mean? I like to see that little mix and influx of a black pretty dominant sport. So, because some boys can cook, man. Some of them boys can cook. So.
And we got some in the league right now. Unfortunately, Chet Holmgren, he's out. He got hurt. I mean, but we've been telling him, I don't know what his diet plan is or who's his nutrition, but he keep coming back in every year the same weight.
Duh.
I mean, eventually it ain't gonna hold up in NBA, man. These dudes are strong guys out there. You know what I'm saying? So
it's hopefully a grown man game.
Yeah, hopefully he can get back healthy. I mean, this is probably his second major injury. I think it was a hip injury, a fractured hip.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's only 3 years in the league. Only played one full season in the 3 years. He was out his whole rookie year, and now you're already out in the first month of the season. So, listen,
how you get a fractured hip?
Because he fell down. He fell from trying to rebound and fell on his hip, and it broke his hip. Like, God damn, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like, these dudes ain't putting no weight on to protect that. So
that's crazy.
He landed right on bone versus, you know what I mean, just a little bit of something.
Yeah. So NBA is going on, college is going on, football's going on. Oh man, so many things with sports. I know I think we had a Philly win the Silver Slugger Award and Bryce Harper. If I remember correctly. So tons and tons and tons of sports going on. If you like sports, if you like these videos that we do, make sure you help your boys out, man. Hit the subscribe, hit the follow button, hit the notification button. I know it's a little bit on the late night, but this is where, as they say, the real stories come out. And I feel like we got one of the best shows on late night talking about a lot of these stories that people tend not to talk about and kind of just shoot the shit. So if you like that kind of talk, again, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, all that good stuff. For myself, that is all that we have for tonight. We will be back tomorrow for our bets. Still cooking, man. I don't know how else to say. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. Yes, last week was a little bit of pullback. little bit of pullback. I did lose some college bets, and I didn't. And actually, no, it was the first losing week in a long time. I mean, I'll be out. You know, what I mean, I won't gas nobody up. You know, what I mean, I took an L last week, so hoping to bounce back, knowing that we're going to bounce back. You know, and we'll make sure we'll put out the best bets for everybody to follow on. So for myself, I'm Moss Money. Let's be humble. You guys enjoy your evening. Good night. See you tomorrow.